Daddy, why is she sitting there? Ethan Parker tightened his grip on his daughter's hand as they walked past the bus station. It was late, the sun dipping low over the horizon, and his little girl, Lily, had spotted the young woman huddled against the cold brick wall. Her clothes were dirty, her hair unkempt, and she held a crumpled backpack as if it were her lifeline. Her eyes, however, were what struck Ethan the most: a gray, glassy, and lost. "Because a broken bar sometimes life is hard," Ethan said softly, brushing Lily's blonde curls back. He was a single dad, barely holding things together himself. His construction shifts paid just enough for rent and daycare, and still, some nights, he skipped dinner so Lily wouldn't. The woman's gaze flickered up. For a brief moment, Ethan thought he saw dignity buried under exhaustion. "Daddy," Lily tugged at his sleeve. "Can we help her?" Ethan sighed. He knew better than to get involved. He barely had enough for himself and Lily. Yet, his daughter's words struck something inside him. The next morning, as Ethan left his apartment for work, he saw the same woman again curled up near the corner store. Something inside him broke. "You hungry?" he asked. She flinched, then nodded slowly. "Come on," Ethan said, surprising even himself. "I'll get you some food." At the diner, over eggs and toast, Ethan learned her name was Isabella. She spoke little, only that she'd had a falling out with her family and had nowhere else to go. When the bill came, Ethan stared at it. It wasn't much, but every dollar mattered. Still, he slid his card across the counter. As they stepped outside, Isabella whispered, "You didn't have to do that." "Yeah," Ethan said, adjusting Lily on his hip, "but I couldn't just walk away." And then, almost without thinking, he heard himself say, "I've got a spare room. It's nothing fancy, but a broken bar I'll pay for a month. Get you back on your feet." Isabella frowns. "Why would you do that?" Ethan shrugged. "Because someone once helped me when I had nothing. Now it's my turn." Chapter 2. The Stranger in His Home. Isabella moved in that night. Ethan's apartment was small, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, but tidy. He gave her the spare room, still scattered with boxes from his late wife's belongings. "Sorry about the mess," Ethan said awkwardly. "It's a broken bar more than I deserve," Isabella murmured. For the first few days, she was quiet, almost invisible. She cooked, washed dishes, folded laundry without being asked. Lily adored her instantly, following Isabella around, asking endless questions. "Why don't you have a home? Do you like pancakes? Can you braid my hair?" To Ethan's surprise, Isabella smiled more around Lily than she ever did around him. There was something tender in the way she brushed the little girl's hair, something that hinted at a softness she tried to hide. One evening, after Lily was asleep, Ethan found Isabella sitting on the balcony, staring at the city lights. "You're not like the others," she said quietly. "What others?" "The people who pass by. They look at me like I'm dirt." "But you a broken bar. You gave me a room." Ethan leaned on the railing beside her. "You needed help." Simple as that. But Isabella's eyes shone with unshed tears. "You don't even know who I really am." Chapter 3. Cracks in the Mask. Weeks passed. Ethan noticed little things about Isabella: her refined accent, the way she unconsciously ordered her tea like someone used to find service, the expensive but worn necklace she always clutched when nervous. She wasn't just a random homeless girl. She carried herself like someone who'd once lived in a very different world. One Saturday, while cleaning, Lily ran into Ethan's room holding a photograph she'd found in Isabella's backpack. "Daddy, look." "It's her." Ethan's breath caught. The photo showed Isabella, radiant and polished, standing beside an older man in a tuxedo. The backdrop was a mansion, the kind only billionaires owned. Ethan confronted her that night. "Who are you really, Isabella?" She went pale. "Please don't ask me that. You can't expect me to ignore it." "That picture real? What's going on?" Finally, she broke. "My father is Charles Montgomery, Montgomery Enterprises." Ethan nearly dropped his glass. That name was everywhere, in real estate, airlines, even media. "One of the wealthiest men in the country." "You're a millionaire's daughter?" Her voice cracked. "Was, to him. I don't exist anymore." She explained how she disagreed with her father's ruthless business decisions, how she tried to expose some corruption in his company. In response, he cut her off, disowned her, and made sure no one would hire her. "I thought I could survive on my own," Isabella whispered. "But I failed." "And then a broken bar. You found me." Ethan was silent. He didn't know whether to feel betrayed or heartbroken. Chapter 4. The Breaking Point. Life didn't magically get easier. Ethan still worked long shifts. Bills piled up, and some nights he wondered if he'd been foolish to take Isabella in. Then one night, disaster struck. Lily developed a high fever. Ethan rushed her to the panicked. As he scrambled through his wallet for insurance papers, Isabella stepped forward. "Put it on me," she told the nurse. "She's my responsibility too." Ethan stared. "Isabella, don't argue," she said firmly, gripping his arm. Through the long night, she sat beside Lily's bed, cooling her forehead, whispering lullabies. Ethan watched her, realizing she wasn't just a guest anymore. She was part of their lives. At dawn, when the doctor finally said Lily would be fine, Ethan turned to Isabella. "Why are you doing all this?" Her eyes brimmed with tears. "Because for the first time in years, I feel like I belong somewhere." Chapter 5. The Return. A month turned into 2, then 3. One day, a sleek black car pulled up outside the apartment. Out stepped Charles Montgomery himself, stern and imposing. "Isabella," he said sharply, "get in the car." Ethan instinctively stepped in front of her. "She's not going anywhere she doesn't want to," Montgomery sneered. "Who are you? Some handyman she's picked up off the street?" Ethan clenched his fists. "I'm the man who gave your daughter a home when you threw her away." For the first time, Isabella raised her chin and faced her father. "I'm not going back to your world of greed and lies," she said. "I've found something real here." Montgomery's jaw tightened, but he saw the fire in her eyes, the independence, the strength. Finally, he sighed. "You've always been stubborn. If this is what you want, a broken bar, so be it. But don't come crawling back when it fails." He left without another word. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. After that day, something shifted. Isabella wasn't just surviving anymore, she was rebuilding. She found work at a local non-profit, using her knowledge of finance to help struggling families. Ethan, though still wary of trusting too easily, couldn't deny how much she changed his and Lily's lives. One evening, as they sat around the small kitchen table, Lily looked up and asked, "Daddy, can Isabella stay forever?" Ethan chuckled, but when he glanced at Isabella, his heart skipped. She was looking at him the same way. "I think," Ethan said softly, "she already has." Epilogue. The Power of Kindness. Months later, Ethan stood on that same street corner where he'd first seen Isabella. He often wondered what would have happened if he'd walked away. But he hadn't. He'd chosen kindness, even when he had little to give, and that simple act had changed all their lives. Isabella wasn't just the millionaire's daughter anymore. She was part of his family, and Ethan knew, deep down, that sometimes the greatest riches weren't found in bank accounts or mansions. A broken bar but in the hearts we choose to open.